point in our lives, we've all had something spoiled. Big or small, it's rather annoying because it feels like we've had an experience taken away from us. Well, a lot of people experience the same thing with theme parks. It's very hard to find information on how to approach a park without having a Pandora's box of spoilers opened up in front of your very eyes. However, theme parks and holidays can be rather expensive, so you don't exactly want to waste the experience, so you need to find this balance of spoilers and guides, and then we decided, wait a second, why don't we do a spoiler-free guide? And that's where we are here, and that's why I hope you're here. Otherwise, what are you doing here? Watch our review, it's full of spoilers. Like most of our review time videos that we like to have nice and structured, makes it easier for us to make them, this video follows who, what, when, where, and why. So we'll start with, who is this resort for? Looking at our analytics, a lot of our viewers are young male Americans, and that's definitely not the target demographic that Tokyo Disney is going for. English is available in some areas of the Tokyo Disney Resort, but it's not the primary or even secondary language of the park. It's mainly used on signage, in menus, and in shops. Most cast members speak very little English, which means you'll be relying more on written material. Any cast member that does speak fluent English will have an English badge attached to their name tag. They can almost always be found at guest relations if you need to talk to somebody about something important. Because of the language barrier and the crowds that this park gets, I would not recommend this to first-time Disney park goers or young families. This resort can get very overwhelming very quickly. However, we feel that this resort is perfect for couples and those looking to have a next-level Disney experience. If you've visited a Disney resort before, you shouldn't have any issues. You should be able to figure it out all fairly swimmingly. So, what should I know? This resort uses the Legacy FastPass system. Similar to Disneyland in Anaheim and Hong Kong Disneyland, the Tokyo Disney Resort uses paper FastPasses, meaning that you physically need to go to the location to get a FastPass. One big difference though is that the Japanese really know how to use the FastPass system. Most of the popular attractions will often be booked out of FastPasses only a few hours after opening. At Tokyo Disney Sea, we recommend grabbing a Toy Story Midway Mania FastPass first, and at Disneyland, we recommend Pooh's Honey Hunt. This resort also uses a one-of-a-kind lottery system, which is arguably one of the most confusing aspects of the resort. Whether they're using the system is dependent on the day, but you scan your ticket and get a chance at being randomly selected for a pre-allocated seat at a show. Thankfully, you can try once per group, per day, per show. Look on the map for that day as to where the lottery location is when you visit. Even if you don't get lucky with the lottery system, standby viewing is available for most shows, including the first show of each day, usually being reserved to standby only. We recommend getting to a show around an hour in advance if you're wishing to try for the standby viewing area, possibly even earlier if the park is busy. Japanese etiquette is very different to Western etiquette. Line culture and respect for others is taken very seriously. I highly recommend the series Abroad in Japan on YouTube if visiting Japan so that you don't stick out like a sore thumb. Simple things such as walking whilst eating and not taking your rubbish are both considered very rude. Don't consider being a foreigner as a free pass. Sitting for parades and shows is also a huge thing in Japan, and you'll often see rows a few people deep of purely sitting guests before any guests are standing behind them. There are some attractions which the Japanese are crazy for, and if you want to experience them, you need to pretty much head straight for them. At Disneyland, you have two choices. For the Tomorrowland morning run, head to Monsters Inc. for a FastPass and then hit up one of the more popular attractions in the area such as Space Mountain or Buzz Lightyear. For the Fantasyland morning run, head to Pooh Honey Hunt, get a FastPass, and then hit up any Fantasyland Classic or Splash Mountain, which can get insanely busy on a hot day, upwards of 3 hours. At Disney Sea, I highly suggest following the battle plan of heading to Toy Story Mania for a FastPass and then jumping on Tower of Terror or Journey to the Center of the Earth. When should I prepare and go? I highly recommend preparing for a visit to Tokyo Disney. By watching this video, you're already doing that. good on you. This resort isn't exactly one of the ones where you can just sort of rock up and go. There is a fair bit of planning involved, and I highly recommend that if you're in the Tokyo area and want to go to Tokyo Disneyland on a day that you haven't prepared for, do as much research as you can, obviously without spoiling the experience, because it could be massively busy, there could be a seasonal event, or tickets could be sold out, which apparently happens quite often. Speaking of events, the Tokyo Disney Resort loves its special events. Halloween, Easter, Christmas, summertime, anniversaries, there's always a lot going on, so the park is often very busy. The absolute quietest time to visit is just after Golden Week. This is a collection of holidays celebrated in Japan and usually lies within the second week of May. However, July is often consistently quiet if you can stand the summer humidity and heat. If in doubt, you can check a crowd calendar for the times that you're available. Links in the description. Refurbishments at this resort are rather consistent. This means that you can pretty much use historic information to figure out when rides are going to be closed. And they often advertise closures well in advance, so if there are specific dates that you want to visit, be sure to check the schedule. Where is it? And where should I stay? If coming to the resort, we highly recommend staying on Disney property. We've recently released a video about the benefits, though that may contain spoilers, so watch with hesitation. However, if you are to stay in the Tokyo area, remember that the Tokyo Disney Resort is technically not in Tokyo. It's in the Chiba Prefecture, and is over a 20-minute train ride from Tokyo Station. This means that if you're staying in popular tourist areas such as Shinjuku or Akihabara, expect at least an hour commute in the morning. Which leads into the next point. Leave early in the morning, get there early, at least 60 minutes or 90 minutes beforehand. This will save you an absolutely massive amount of time. We can't stress this enough. Getting to the parks early will save you huge amounts of time throughout the day. Being able to get an early fast pass and jump in line for an attraction will be a lifesaver. Thankfully, the Japanese are all about convenience, so if you do get there relatively early, you can always grab something to eat or a coffee from a nearby convenience store. You're more than welcome to sit whilst you wait, which is a nice blessing on the legs. Save yourself some time and buy your tickets before you get to the resort. Tickets can be purchased at a lot of areas around Tokyo, including the Disney hotels, Disney stores, major convenience stores, major travel agencies, and Japan Railways ticket windows. If you're worried about the clerk not knowing what you're trying to buy, carry around a small piece of paper with "I want to buy Tokyo Disney tickets for X days" in Japanese. If it's any more than one day, you will be asked which park you want to visit first, so make sure you know in advance, usually dependent on the crowds and seasonal events. So, why should I go? Well, we believe that the Tokyo Disney Resort is one of the best Disney resorts in the world. It features 2 amazing parks, some incredible hotels, and is at the forefront of Disney creativity with their attractions and shows. Tokyo Disney Sea is rated as our favourite theme park in the world, and Tokyo Disneyland is also in the running as well. The parks feature classic attractions and familiar Disney sights, while still incorporating large amounts of Japanese culture to make it feel refreshingly unique. ReviewTyme highly recommends this resort, and we really hope that you're able to go and enjoy it and have a great time. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and that it's helped you in planning your trip. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them below. We are more than happy to help you out. I'm Dominic Lacey, and this is ReviewTyme.